Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I'm posting this from Germany. Well, I'm not. I've been working feverishly in the 2 days before flying out to Germany for Gamescom to ensure that you guys have got some content to keep you busy while I'm having fun at Europe's biggest games exhibition. This is Still Guns in the German Tier 7 heavy tank, the Tiger P, and he's on Derpenberg. Still Guns hadn't been having a very good day of it. Every match that he played was just one disaster after another, so he loaded up his brand new Tiger P, fully expecting this match to be yet another heartbreak. And it so very easily could have. He's not a particularly great player, and he freely acknowledges this. He doesn't have that many top guns. He's gotten 5 kills before, but that 6th magical final kill always just seems to elude him. So he certainly wasn't expecting anything great out of this match, particularly with the standard of teams that he's had up until now. And to be completely honest, this team really wasn't that much better. Somebody on the enemy team proved to be a very capable scout. Almost immediately they start taking fire. You hear that dinking noise? Yep, the T-150 up in front of him is taking flanking shots. Paying attention, Still Guns turns, angles the tank in the direction of fire, and yep, there you go, he starts bouncing shots himself. It is actually entirely possible to penetrate the front of the Tiger P. Even though it has 200mm of frontal armour, it does have weak spots. That T-29 just blew his tracks off, but he is getting penetrated over and over and over, and it's by a Stug 3G. In a second we'll show you exactly where it is you need to shoot a Tiger P if he's angled his armour like that and he's facing towards you, but for now he's got some targets up and he's going to make the most of it. And right there, the cheeks of the armour, you can see the hole. Bingo. That's where you shoot a Tiger P if he starts angling his armour towards you and he's facing you. That is, of course, if you can't put a shot for whatever reason into that massive Commander's cupola on top of the turret, which is another big weak spot on this tank. And you're going to see Still Guns taking advantage of that himself when he's facing off against an enemy Tiger P. But for now, he's got his sights firmly set on that VK3601H. He does not have a lot of that tank visible to shoot at, and the aiming time of this long 88mm gun is pretty terrible on the Tiger P, but he penetrates, he does damage. Moves up. Panzer IV Hydro on low health, over there on the flank. He's going for the VK3601H again, who should be able, at that kind of angle, to put shots into his Commander's cupola. Hummel goes for him as well, shaves off a little bit more of his health. Possibly had his tracks blown off, but he retreats, pulls back. Do you remember the Panzer IV-H? Yep, there he is. Thanks very much. That's the first tank that Still Guns' team have managed to kill. They've lost 2 tanks of their own, but things are going to get much worse before they get any better. The Tiger P is still sitting there. Yeah. It looked like he actually went for the frontal weak spot that the Stug 3 was shooting at. But at that kind of angle, it's not a weak spot, it's an automatic bounce zone, particularly as Still Guns pulled back, as his reload beat the Tiger Ps by just a fraction. E25 down there, very dangerous little target. Still Guns using the wrecked building up in front of him to shield him from the Tiger P while he tries to get a shot on the E25, but the E25 was in cover. Tiger P pointing his gun elsewhere. Still Guns goes for the Commander's cupola yet again and penetrates yet again. Enemy Tiger P's had about enough of that at this stage and he starts pulling back, but not before Still Guns is able to penetrate that cupola a 4th time. I've lost track. G1R sitting in the cap with his gun pointing at, well, pretty much nothing. Still Guns takes a shot, resets the cap. Is he still there? I guess we're going to find out. Fires again at the same position, kills him. The scores are now 3-8. Pretty terrible. Still Guns has 2/3 of his team's kills. Somebody nails another enemy tank to bring the scores up to 4-8, but it's still pretty bad. That Tiger P has pulled right back. There is no sign of him. They're not being capped again at the moment, and that's where that Stug 3G suddenly pops up. The guy was giving him so much trouble earlier. He fires, and it just flies right over the top of the Stug. And then the Stug gets ammo-racked by the KV-3. Now we're going to be seeing more of that KV-3 later on. That 350 damage is the only damage that KV-3 does in this entire match. His team now has the grand total of 5 kills, and Still Guns is responsible for 3 of them. Unfortunately, they've lost 11 tanks. And that's when that E25 pops up again behind the KV3 and starts taking shots at him. Now, with only 4 of them left, when you're outnumbered this heavily, you really do have to try to stick together, and Still Guns is going back to assist the KV3 in fighting off the E25. The Cromwell, on the other hand, is still heading around to the north, and he has managed to kill a T1 Heavy. No sign of that Tiger P, however, which is kind of surprising because you wouldn't really expect that Tiger P to move too far from that position, and in fact he hasn't. He is still up there, but the Cromwell has managed to get all the way around and to the north of where the Tiger P was last spotted without detecting him. Meanwhile, Still Guns is facing off against this E25. His first shot does no damage, but blows his tracks off. He starts angling his armour, takes a hit. He's not going to reload in time. He is definitely not going to beat the reload of an E25. The Cromwell just nailed himself a T1 Heavy. He's now casting around it there, trying to find this Tiger P, and the Tiger P pops back up. The Cromwell moves in to try to kill him, as Still Guns, with no help whatsoever from the KV3, comes around the corner after the E25 and finds an AMX instead and kills him. Unfortunately for the Cromwell, he got spotted and killed by a VK3001H. There's an A43 shooting at Still Guns. The KV3 is still in no position to assist, as this E25 comes around looking for the kill. Still Guns takes another hit. He bounces one. He's charging this E25 down, scores a hit, bounces another one, attempts to ram him while he's reloading, takes another hit. His tracks eat it, and by a stroke of luck actually manages to kill the E25 through the gun mantlet. And that's when the enemy 3002M suddenly decides to commit suicide by Tiger P instead of driving around behind him and finishing him off. KV1 spotted, fires a shot, possibly high explosive. Still Guns returns fire, kills him. Here comes the enemy 3001H, the guy who killed the Cromwell. He's armed with a 75mm Konish gun and could easily have finished Still Guns off here. His commander's cupola is vulnerable. He takes a hit from the back over there, probably the A43, reverses, reloads, finishes off the 3001M. They are being capped. And that KV3, by the way, has now reached the spot at which he is going to spend the rest of the match. He doesn't move an inch from that position, despite the fact that they're being capped. And the Tiger P, driven by Still Guns down here, only has 81 health. And instead, he's going to sit on the hill, up round the corner of the castle, and accuse everybody on his team of being idiots and cheaters. Because that's what wins matches, isn't it? And it's around about now that Still Guns is figuring out for himself that if you want a job done properly, you're just going to have to do it yourself, because despite the fact that that KV3 has something like 8 or 9 times the health that he has, and is also a tier 7 heavy tank, he's going to get no help from him whatsoever. So with 81 health, he moves forward into the cap, looking for the remaining enemy tanks. They are still outnumbered 2 to 1. Oh, he's found the A43. Instead of moving to a position where he could actually do some good, the KV3 is of course still arguing with the rest of his team. Still Guns puts a shot into the A43, takes one on the gun mantlet, bounces it, Kibon, reload the gun, kills him, spots the Cromwell on the other side of the cap circle, takes a hit, his tracks are blown off. Praying he's not going to get finished off by the Crusader SP, he finishes off the Cromwell, gets his tracks back up, come on, and moves forward. Hopefully, he's now in a position where he's safe from artillery fire. Where did the Tiger P go? Is he still up on the hill? If he is, he's going to have to get his ass into gear and move down here. Yep, he is. He's still up there, and he's a one-shot kill. Unfortunately, of course, so is Still Guns. Tiger P picks up a surprising lick of speed as he comes down the hill there. Artillery takes a shot as he's spotted, misses. Tiger P in the open, comes around the corner of the building, aims for the side, finishes him off. And there's his Pools medal. Now remember, this is a guy who doesn't have many Top Guns and certainly doesn't have any Radley Walters medals. And this is his first Pools medal ever in what is essentially a brand new tank. He's hardly played any games in the Tiger P whatsoever. His hands were shaking with adrenaline at this point. The KV3, who of course should be coming down from the hill now that he is in absolutely no danger of being spotted and shot at, and joining Still Guns in the cap circle as the Crusader self-propelled gun peppers the cap circle with high explosive shots in an effort to attempt to reset the cap, But no, the KV-3 is still sitting in exactly the same position he was 3 minutes ago, and he's still arguing and insulting the rest of his team. Meanwhile, the lone surviving enemy vehicle, the Crusader self-propelled gun, is going to play it safe. He is not going to take any unnecessary risks, and instead he's just going to satisfy himself with showering the cap circle with high explosive shells as fast as his gun reloads, in an effort to try to score a lucky decapping hit on Still Guns. But it is just not going to happen. And Still Guns, whose hands were actually shaking with adrenaline at this point, is not going to throw the match by going after the Crusader SP and getting himself shotgunned, and then leaving the outcome of the match in the hands of that idiot in the KV-3. He sits tight in the cap circle, hugging the wall, safe from artillery fire, and he takes the easy win. Even though there was actually nothing easy about it. A pretty spectacular win for Still Guns in the Tiger P. And look at the medals. In fact, just looking at the epic medals, we've got a Pools medal, a Delanglade's medal for killing 4 enemy vehicles in the cap circle, we've got a Spartan, we've got a Steel Wall, we've got an Invader and a Defender, we've got a High Caliber, and we've got a Top Gun. Yeah, that's a pretty good day's work. Still Guns did 3,500 damage, earning those 10 kills, and the Cromwell on the team had a pretty decent match as well, doing over 2,000 damage, but it's fairly safe to say that if Still Guns hadn't been in the Tiger P in that match, the enemy E25 player would have been uploading this video saying check out the monster game I just had, because he also did over 3,000 damage and unfortunately had to lose. But look at the numbers. 27 shots fired, 22 hits, 21 penetrations. He did 3,553 damage, took 30 hits, 11 of which penetrated, and a fair number of those got absorbed by his tracks. His armour blocked 2,335 damage. He damaged 12 enemy vehicles, killed 10 of them, and did over 1,000 spotting and assistance damage, and gained 100 base capture points and 100 base defense points. If you'd stuck a broom up his arse while he was doing it, he could have swept the map clean into the bargain. I think it's fairly safe to say that Still Guns is not going to forget this game in a hurry. Yeah. Well played, Still Guns. Well played. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video upload while I'm away in Germany. At Gamescom there is another one coming tomorrow, and another one coming on Friday. So yeah, I am looking after you. Back on Friday, and then on Saturday I'm heading up to Combat South, my local airsoft site, for their Vietnam reenactment, and I will be taking the camera for that as well. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks, and as always, take care.